喂，你睇下你本書有冇寫錯先？我本書咧呢度寫咗0嘅，應該係4V 咯。你本書有冇寫錯啊？哇！即係得我本書錯。Potential difference 嗰個 circuit 啫嘛。
係啊，你本書寫。
佢仲有冇錄緊嘅？
有啊，啱停咗個 break， 再
哦，太感動啦！佢哇！真心之語話對大個。你要乘翻個 charge 嘅。可以解佢可以 provide energy 嘅能力，即係你空氣越大，可以 provide energy 嘅。Oh, here. Okay, so this is the diagram on the same page 86. Okay, so assume that if there is 1 coulomb of charge passing in the circuit, so how many joules will be provided by the battery?
6 joules.
Okay, so how many joules will be provided by the battery? Then you can use this equation, right? So it is 6V. This W is energy. Okay, so this energy is come from the battery. So this is the energy provided. Okay, so over 1C. Okay, so in the other word, the energy provided is 6 joule. So I think no questions about the energy provided, right? Just use this equation. W times Q. And let's see, it provides 6 joule, right? So which means the resistor and the light bulb should consume 6 joule as well. Okay? 佢而家 provide 咗6 joule 啦，咁呢個係咪應該要幫我用晒6 joule 啊？咁我哋睇下啦，睇下佢用咗幾多啦。Okay, so now let's calculate the energy consumed by this resistor. What's the energy consumed by this resistor? 呢個1C 會唔會改變㗎？唔會啊，呢個1C 係唔會用咗嘅。OK 啊，呢個係 Q 嚟㗎，嗱唔好撈亂啊！即係佢而家唔係 I， 我用 Q。But the Q can convert the Q into I，OK？ 好啦，咁咧用咗幾多 energy 咧？通常我哋就用下面嗰條式啦。OK， 因為呢個係 voltage consumed，right？ So Q equals to the energy。我第一次會咁樣寫啊，之後就唔咁樣寫啦。Consumed over Q。So Q is still 1C. So the energy consumed is 2J for this resistor. So you may think that the calculation is very low B. Okay, so it's important for you to understand the concept roughly. Okay, so now we calculate the energy consumed by the light bulb. Here, so the V equals to W over Q. So 4 equals to the energy consumed over 1C. So the energy consumed is 4J. So as you can see, the sum of energy consumed equals to the energy provided. Okay, so for every circuit, it has the characteristics like this. Okay, so and you need to know how to calculate. You need to know how to calculate the energy consumed, the energy provided in this electric circuit. Now, okay, so now turn your book to page 110. So now, I'll tell you the most difficult part. I'll tell you the most difficult part of this chapter. Okay? So how many kinds of circuits you have learned in Form 2? Okay, so there are series and parallel circuits, right? So you need to copy every word on the screen.眼瞓就企喺度上啦，自己。冇做咪唔好交咯，有乜問題啫？咁你冇做本身就唔應該交咯，就係咁樣。我已經2個禮拜冇俾功課。咁咪欠咗佢咯，有乜特別啫？可唔可以作廢啊？嗰兩個。Okay, so you have 3 resistors, right? So if you want to replace this 3 resistor with a single one, okay? So what's the values of that resistor? 嗱，呢個嘢每一個字都明，加埋一齊就唔明啦，係咪？呢個 resistor 有咩用㗎？阻住啲 current 行嘅啫，係咪？即係完全冇作用嘅啲 resistor 係。咁咧，如果我而家有3粒嘢阻住啲 current 行 ，and the value is R1, R2 and R3. Okay? So if I want， 陣間個15分鐘俾翻你哋抄。抄咩事咯？咩啊？唔夠咪抄唔識抄答案啦。有人幫我做你啊呢個。好啦，即係你而家有3嚿嘢阻住佢行。如果你想換成一嚿咧，阻住佢行嘅 effect 係一樣嘅，咁你應該換成一嚿乜嘢嘅 value 先？點解你知道佢應該係 R1 加 R2 加 R3咧？因為咧佢係 series， 咁但係知唔知佢點樣 derive 出嚟嘅呢嚿嘢？我發現咧原來2版係唔得嘅。 好啦，咁咧而家咧就 derive 一次啦 ，OK？ So if you want to find a single resistance, if you want to find a single resistor to replace this 3 and get the same effect as this 3 resistor. So what's the value of this one? So we call this the equivalent resistor, okay? So we combine these 3 resistors into one, and then we call this the equivalent resistor. So, and the properties of all the properties of these two circuits should be the same. Okay, so because we don't want to change any properties of this circuit. Okay, so for the left-hand side, epsilon equals to 呢個你知啊嘛 ，V 定 IR 啊嘛 ，V 定 IR 你知啊，所以我就 skip 咗嗰度。So
冇 skip 啦 ，skip 咗期。
Ohm's law 記唔記得？你幫 2學嗰條 Ohm's law。
寫開咩？
OK， 我而家寫翻出嚟。上一堂你又話你哋自己學咗嘅。你冇學過卡丁仔，你唔記得晒啫，最多係。Okay, so what's the unit of voltage? V 啊 ，voltage 係最好嘅。voltage 個 unit 又叫 voltage， 佢自己又叫 voltage， 即係冚唪唥都係 V。Okay, so what's the unit of current? Hey, what's the unit of resistance? 有冇記得啊 ？Omega。呢個標誌喺邊度見過啊？賣魚肝油咁樣 Omega 3就係呢個 Omega， 係咪？咁咧仲有一種咧，仲有一個牌子賣啲標好貴嘅，都係叫 Omega。係啦。咁咧呢個 Ohm's law 咧就係呢個 Ohm 發明啦。呢個 Ohm 係咩人啊？唔係佢係一個中學老師。佢係一個好很慘嘅中學老師。點解？唔好對佢做。唔好對佢。其實佢就係想去大學教書，但係唔得。唔係，跟住佢60歲嘅時候就去咗大學教書。唔係錯嘅，佢將佢嘅所有研究寄咗俾呢個法拉第，知唔知個法拉第？之後咧，仲有個人咧，你要學嘅，你要學佢條式叫 Faraday 咯，即係 Faraday's law， 唔係法拉利嘅法拉第。咁咧，佢將佢所有研究咧寄晒俾呢個人咧，佢60歲嘅時候就可以教書，唔知佢教幾多年。咁咧，佢就發明咗呢個 Ohm's law， 發現咗呢個 Ohm's law。咁咧，尋日頒咗諾貝爾物理學獎，知唔知係咩攞到啊？
嗰個3個人研究定咩？
就係及到黑洞嗰條友攞咗。唔係，係諾貝爾物理學獎，即係證明咗有黑洞存在咧。嗰陣時有張黑洞相啊嘛。之前冇證明到有黑洞㗎。咁啦，呢張相咯。就影咗呢張相之後攞咗啦。好難影啊！呢張相。佢攞咗幾10個望遠鏡一齊影嘅。我哋下學期教 Modern Physics 嘅時候就會講㗎。嗰張相係全世界幾10個國家一齊對住佢先影到㗎。佢張相一張就搭咗幾千張相喺度㗎。咁點解得佢3個攞？因為佢哋係呢個 program。好慘，佢啲手下都好。我之前冇同你講嗰個故事咩？咩有個韓國嘅研究生飲醉酒嘅故事有冇聽過？冇啊！有個韓國研究生係你而家買嗰啲電話咧，即係 Samsung 同華為咁咪有啲電話可以接埋嘅。係啊。咁接埋有咩問題啊？嗰啲電話？有條痕。係啦，咁咧你諗下嗰啲電線同一般嘅金屬咧，你接得太多係咪會爛嘅？係啊。你唯一可以瘋狂咁樣接嘅嘢係乜嘢啊？你識嘅 materials 之中。 人都係啊，咁就係有啲咩嘢？你可以瘋狂咁接嘅嘢就係 plastic 咯，係咪？即係你唯一可以狂接又唔爛嘅就係 plastic 啦，你金屬都係會爛。所以咧，我哋要揾到一樣咧可以導電嘅 plastic， 但係你知道大部分 plastic 唔係，基本上所有 plastic 都係 insulator 嚟㗎嘛，係咪？咁咧，但係一直都有人研究緊嘅，就有個韓國嘅研究生，佢就研究呢個 materials 咯。咁有一日咧，佢個 professor 就叫佢個 professor 叫佢做 experiment， 因為佢好大壓力啊，好似你哋咁啊，唔知做乜鬼嘢。跟住咧就走咗去飲酒，跟住飲完酒之後咧，佢又照做 experiment 咯。但係咧佢就唔小心加咗200倍原本嘅份量，即係譬如 professor 叫加1 gram， 佢加200 gram。跟住佢加完之後就翻咗去瞓覺。跟住第二朝咧 professor 佢第二朝咧佢就見到嗰嚿 plastic 咧閃靈靈。閃靈靈係點啊？閃靈靈咧，閃靈靈咧就出事啦！你見到啲金屬咧全部都閃靈靈嘅，知唔知點解啊？呢個 Cam 都有學過嘅，因為金屬表面咧有 electron C 啊嘛，係咪？呢個佢同光作用，然之後會令到佢閃靈靈。跟住咧佢自己都唔知發生咩事，嗰個研究生真係嘔到不得了。咁咧佢就見到呢嚿嘢閃靈靈，佢就呆 Q 咗啦。咁佢就俾佢個 professor， 佢 professor 發現呢嚿嘢導電。但係佢整緊 plastic， 最後就唔小心整到佢導電，咁就發明咗可以導電嘅 plastic。跟住佢個 professor 就攞咗落 paper。所以咧，同下面嗰啲研究員冇乜關係嘅，即係邊個係你睇 paper， 你會見到咧，你唔好以為睇 paper 第一個係最勁嘅，你睇 paper 咪有好多個名嘅，係咪？跟住咧，最後通常有個名咧有粒星。呢個咧叫 corresponding author， 即係我哋叫做個通訊作者。有咩獎基本上係呢個人嘅，即係指導教授個名喺最後嘅，佢每樣要最廢，但係有粒星。第一個咧 first offer 嘅，你上 PhD 畢業咧，你咁就你要有 first offer 嘅 paper。係啊，我仲有啲唔係我自己嘅，喺後面嗰啲。係咁嘅，其實係互相掛 paper 啫，嗰啲可能我真係冇做過，即係我掛2、3、4作者嗰啲。唔係你諗下，如果你哋大個全部都去做 PhD 咧，咁譬如大一嗱要發 paper 就加晒你啲名喺後面啦，咁佢自己係第一個就得啦，反正。跟住你諗下，如果你哋每人發咗篇 paper， 你哋有30幾篇 paper， 我有25篇 paper。我唔加佢名，見到我好勁，我自己都寫晒。好衰啊！冇人理嘅，你投稿嘅時候咩？即係你見工嘅時候，人哋就見到你有一長串 paper。喂，我講緊咩？我講緊 Ohm's law， 係啊。OK， 係啊 ，We 點解無啦啦講緊 Ohm's law 嘅？因為你哋唔識 Ohm's law， 係啊，記得啦。OK， 好啦，咁咧呢個 Ohm's law 咧點樣睇嘅咧？嗱，你可以睇 voltage is directly proportional to current， 係咪好正常啊 ？Voltage is directly proportional to resistance， 係咪好正常啊？呢個咧就唔係好正常，係咪？點解啊？點解？即係同你想象中嘅好似唔一樣咩 ？Voltage directly proportional to resistance。So if you think about a circuit, okay, so with a single resistor, and then here is the ammeter, okay. So normally the resistance is a constant, right? So normally the resistance is a constant. So if you increase the power supply, if you increase the value of voltage, then the value of current will be increased. So this is the physical meaning of this equation. So normally we treat the resistance as a constant, so that the voltage is directly proportional to the current. 咁有一種例外嘅情況，或者唔係叫例外，有一種情況咧，我哋會考慮埋 R 嘅，咁呢個就遲啲先講。咁但係呢條式其實係點樣睇嘅咧？你唔應該睇呢個 voltage directly proportional to resistance。你應該點樣諗？你應該諗咧 ，current is inversely proportional to resistance。點解咧？ So if the voltage is a constant, so for example, if the voltage is 10V, the resistance is 2 ohm. Okay, so if the voltage is 10V, the resistance is 2 ohm. So what's the current? What's the current? 5A, right? So if the voltage doesn't change, it's 10V, and the resistance is 5 ohm, so what's the current? 2, okay? So this equation actually gives you the relations like this. So if you have the constant voltage supply and you increase the resistance, then the current will be decreased. Okay? So this is very important because the power supply normally is a constant value. 即係譬如你澳門嗰啲 V 咧，你係一個 constant value 嚟嘅，係咪？跟住咧，你唔同嘅 R 咧，你就會得到唔同 I。你唔同嘅電器就有唔同 R， 就會得到唔同 I。OK， 嗱呢個咧有一個咧會專門講呢樣嘢嘅，只不過係話俾你聽。你唔好諗呢個 voltage 咧係 directly proportional to resistance 啊！你咁樣諗咧會好容易令你誤會，好奇怪嘅。點解 resistance 越大 voltage 越大？其實係唔關事嘅，基本上咧係你個 resistance， 譬如你用呢部風扇，呢部風扇嘅 resistance 係咁多就係咁多。你俾大呢個 voltage， 咁 current 就勁啲咯，就轉得快啲，就係咁。啲 resistance 基本上係唔會改變。好啦，咁條式就係咁啦 ，V equals to IR。仲有咩想問？有冇想問？有冇想問？冇想問就上啦。好。咁咧，我哋而家翻嚟啦。咁咧，前程回顧就我哋做緊啲咩咧 ？We have free resistance, with free resistor, and we want to replace this free resistor with a single one. Okay. So and the effect of these two circuits are totally the same. So both the current and the energy consumed doesn't change. Okay. So in this case, the voltage provided is epsilon, right? So it's equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So do you agree that? 佢係咪行完一個圈之後要用晒啊？佢咪行完一個圈之後要用晒？咁所以咧，佢 provide 嘅 voltage is epsilon. The voltage consumed are V1, V2, and V3. So these two values are supposed to be the same. Okay, boo. Okay, boo. And then V equals to IR, right? V equals to IR. Okay, so this epsilon 咁咧喺呢邊寫咧就係 equals to 呢個 V EQ 啦嚇，咁咧都係廢話嚟嘅。好，翻返嚟呢度 V equals to IR. So I1 plus I2 plus I3 R3. Are you okay with that? 係啊，呢個同學好聰明啊！個 I 其實係一樣。點解個 I 應該係一樣啊？因為佢而家 connect in series 啊嘛。你諗下呢個 I 通過完佢係咪就行去下一個度啊？咁所以咧呢條式咧就會變咗做 I R1 plus R2 plus R3。係咪？接下落嚟咧，下一步就會變咗哲學嘅問題啦。呢個有問題啦，明成啲咩？好啦，咁咧而家右邊嗰個 circuit 咧，同左邊嗰個應該要一模一樣嘅完全，係咪？除咗嗰三粒嘢換咗一粒嘢之後，咁所以佢流出嚟嘅 current 係咪應該要一樣啊？咁所以咧，其實呢個 I 就等於呢個 IEQ 其實就係左邊嘅呢個 I 啊，左邊嘅呢個 I。OK， 咁所以咧，你可以去到最後啦，就睇呢個 I R1 plus R2 plus R3 equals to I REQ. Okay, so that R1 plus R2 plus R3 equals to REQ.而家係 general case， 即係唔一定一樣。而家一樣嘅。咁咧好大鑊。然後咧，我計完呢個 parallel 之後咧，就冇時間俾你做 example。咁我驚你就唔知有咩用，咁就算啦。好。咁咧呢個 case 咧，其實咧仲可以咁樣諗嘅。呢粒嘢咧，其實就係呢三粒嘢，咁樣連埋一齊。即係你只不過將三粒合埋佢咗。Series, for those resistors connect in series, it's very easy to understand. However, for the resistor connect in parallel, it's much more difficult to imagine. Okay, so now, so we go to the parallel circuit. Okay. So we have R1, R2, R3.好啦，嗱，而家咧就真係好鬼麻煩啦。So the current flow out is I. The current pass through I1. Okay, so with equivalent circuit, 我哋將呢三粒合埋變做一粒。Okay, so if you want to replace these three resistors with a single one, then what is the values of the REQ？ 好啦，咁我哋得翻5分鐘咧，我哋直接就寫一樣。而家咧 V 仲等唔等於 V1 加 V2 加 V3？ Is V equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3 in this case? No. 諗翻行路嗰個例子，而家係點樣啊？你喺呢度攞咗 V 咁多蚊，你嚟到呢度你咪呢三條路你淨可以揀一條嚟行啦。我攞住咗 V 咁多錢，我行到嚟呢度咧，譬如我行上面咧，咁我咪淨係其實通過咗一個 resistor 我就翻屋企啦。咁所以咧，其實每個 resistor 用嘅咧都係 V。我再行多一次，我喺 positive terminal 行出嚟，我攞住 V 咁多錢，我而家唔想行上面，我行下面。咁我行下面其實係咪都淨係通過咗一個 resistor？ 所以喺呢個情況，其實每個 resistor 都係 V， 唔係 V1 plus V2 plus V3。OK？ 咁所以咧，我哋而家咧呢邊咧就係 V equals to V1 equals to V2 equals to V3。左邊係 V equals to V1 equals to E2 equals to E3。Okay, so V1 equals to I1 R1. V2 equals to I2 R2. V3 equals to I3 R3. 點解我要咁樣寫咧？就係我都有啲眼瞓啫嘛。好啦，咁咧而家咧，我哋冇咗呢條式喎，慘啦！咁咧啱啱我哋係用呢條式先啲 R 先加埋晒一齊噶嘛，係咪？而家冇得加喎，應該咧等於。咁我哋點樣揾一條式可以將啲嘢加埋晒一齊？咁咧而家就睇 current， 呢個 current 咧其實就係 equals to I1 plus I2 plus I3， 係咪？咁 呢個總嘅 parent 行到嚟呢度咧，有3條路揀 I1、I2 或者 I3。咁咧行完之後咧合翻埋一齊，呢度都係 I。佢流翻上去嘅時候都係 I 嚇。呢個係順便希望你知道啫，因為 I 咧分咗3條路 I1、I2、I3，佢嚟到呢個方合翻埋一齊又係 I。咁所以咧。I equals to I1 plus I2 plus I3。好啦，咁樣我哋寫咗左邊好耐啦，我哋都未寫呢度。咁呢度咧就係 V。好辛苦啊！咁咧呢個 I 呢個 IEQ 咧，即係呢邊嘅 I 同呢邊嘅 I 係一樣噶嘛，好似啱啱咁講。呢兩個 circuits 咧 supposed to be the same. Okay? So the current flows out from the battery should be the same. 咁所以咧，你可以諗呢個 IEQ 咧，咦我咪倒轉咗？好。呢個 IEQ 咧就係、冇嘢，我再寫。呢個 IEQ 咧，其實就係等於 V over REQ。IEQ 就係 V over REQ，OK？ 好啦，咁我哋嚟啦。好快就整完啦，10秒之後就整完啦。I1 equals to V1 over R1. I2 equals to V2 over R2. I3 equals to V3 over R3, right? And this I is same to this one, so it equals to V over REQ. So again, I1 equals to V1 over R1, I2 equals to V2 over R2. And then the left one, this total I equals to the equivalent current. So IEQ or I equals to V over REQ. So are you okay with this equation? 呢個好唔 OK 啊 ？OK 就完咗啦，其實你唔 OK 咧就陣間話我哋唔 OK 啦。點解咧？因為我哋啱啱講過咧，呢個 V 等於 V1 等於 V2 等於 V3。So finally you get this equation. So 1 over REQ equals to 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2.咁咧，如果你唔明，你就舉手行過嚟解多次俾你聽。你明，你就抄功課做完。最好快啲課先啦，快！